In their new home away from the garden, Adam and Eve had their first child, Cain. Later, they had a second son, Abel. They also had other sons and daughters. These children grew up and had families of their own. Adam and Eve, as the first creation of God, were genetically perfect, and as a result, the first generations lived long lifespans, many hundreds of years. In the beginning, family members married close relatives. Mutant genes that caused deformities had not yet come into the gene pool. Later, through Moses, God would forbid the intermarrying of close relatives. Also, in the pre-flood environment, a water canopy likely covered the earth, filtering out ultraviolet rays, a much more healthful environment. Because of the untainted gene pool and the long lifespans, the population began expanding rapidly. As Cain and Abel grew, Cain preferred working with the soil. The younger son, Abel, liked being a herdsman. God had revealed to the couple and their children how to give sacrifices as a reminder of the seriousness of sin. Though being a shepherd and being a farmer were both honorable occupations, Cain and Abel brought their sacrifices to God in different manners. Abel's sacrifice was from the firstborn of his flock. It was his best, given with a heart towards God, and it was given the way God had revealed to them. Cain chose instead to bring what he wanted, some of his crop. God looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain's offering he did not look with favor.
Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it.
But Cain chose to not listen to God's words.
My brother, come see how the Lord has blessed my newest crop.
But brother, these...
But nothing escapes God's attention. He knows and sees everything we do. God came to Cain and asked him a question.
Where is your brother Abel?
How should I know? Am I my brother's keeper?
What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you.
Cain, who loved farming, would now be a wanderer and a scavenger.
My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me.
Not so. If anyone kills you, he will suffer vengeance 7 times over.
So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in an area east of Eden. Cain's wife became pregnant and gave birth to a son named Enoch. His offspring began to specialize in different vocations. Some lived in tents and raised livestock. Some made and played musical instruments. Metallurgy came into being as his descendants learned to forge tools out of bronze and iron. God granted Adam and Eve another son, Seth, in place of the one who had been murdered. It was through the line of Seth that God's promised deliverer, the Messiah, would one day come. In these very first generations, societies and cultures began to grow. But as the people increased, sin increased. Some people began calling out to God for mercy in hope of a restored relationship. But much of the society became very violent, and people became immoral. The metals that made tools were also formed to make weapons to maim and kill. Every thought was sinful, and no one lived righteously. Men made slaves of their fellow man. Adam committed one sin, but now his offspring committed many sins. The Lord was grieved, and his heart was filled with pain. God, who is holy and without blemish, was sorrowed by the great wickedness that was now on the earth. He planned to wipe out all he had created, both man and animal, from the face of the earth. But one man found favor in God's eyes.